Wednesday morning. I'm going to do an embroidery session in the park this morning, which has been very cute. This is the fourth one I've done this summer. St. Margaret's House asked me to lead this session called Explore Outdoors, where I teach people how to embroider in the park, and it's aimed at like Bow residents, so East Londoners, and we've had some really cool turnout of just like people of all ages, people who want to come on a little Wednesday morning, learn how to embroider. Pretty much everyone has been beginners, or if they have embroidered before, it's like they did it a long time ago when they were younger, and so it's fun to like help people reconnect with that or learn a new skill, because I think a lot of people have come thinking it's going to be like really challenging, and when I show them how to make a basic stitch, they're like, oh really, that's like it? And then they get off and running, which has been really cool. The other day I did one, and afterwards someone like had finished their piece and it looked super cool, and we were all kind of like gassing her up, and she was like, oh, like maybe I am creative. So that's just so special to like help people feel like, yeah, you are creative and you can do this, and to just like get a little practice going. So we've been meeting in Victoria Park on Wednesday mornings to do this, which has been super fun. Next week is the last one, and I'm gonna bring Grace along because we both took the week off of work. A really busy summer, and so we're gonna have a little staycation in London. We're not really like going anywhere, but just like doing stuff around London that we've been wanting to do and haven't really had the time to do because we've been working so much. It's been like events every week, and obviously we both have jobs as well. Decided to take a week off. I will still have this session, so Grace is gonna come along with, and then we'll probably like hang out in Bethnal Green more that day and see what we get up to. In the studio this morning in the package closet because I've had a few things get delivered during my like week off. I haven't been coming in to pick up, and they're kind of fun. I think some of it is yarn, so I had some time this morning. I thought I'd come see what's up. So Grace and I have taken some time off this week, and honestly what we've done with it is mostly like sleep in, hang out around the flat, relax, but also just do a lot of like shopping. And I haven't really filmed anything of it because it's not like super fun stuff. Like this makes me feel old, but like one of the things we're really excited to do right now is swap out our plastic Tupperware for glass Tupperware. So we've been going to like different stores around London to search out stuff like that. We're also looking for like a couch, which is a little bit more fun, but also like a scary big girl purchase. So yeah, it's just been good because we often work really crazy hours, so to have some time to just like hang out around the city and enjoy London. It's fun to be around too when like other people are going to work and you feel kind of like we're playing hooky, even though we fully like took time off to be able to run around and do that. But with freelance stuff, it can be kind of hard to like actually take time off, so like I felt like I needed to come in this morning because what I think is hopefully here in this big box that I think I'm gonna need to get like a trolley to bring up is yarn sponsorship for the next Material Girls Club, which is super exciting, and I want to like post about it to get people excited and to buy tickets and stuff. So check this out. Ooh. This afternoon we're gonna go to a coffee shop, do some reading and also some researching of like different kinds of cookware and what pans we should get next, because obviously Grace and I like moved here about a year and a half ago to London, and we came from the States, and we each came with 2 suitcases of stuff, and so we just did not have many things. We went on the first day we were here and bought like the cheapest things we could because we were also broke from moving. It's just time to upgrade, which has been kind of exciting to feel like we're in a place to be able to do that and to like start investing in our home in a real way, because for so long it was just like buy whatever towels you can because you need towels, and we didn't like bring them from Minnesota, you know? I think I found everything that's mine now. I'm starting a pile out here. I've been informed that someone took the package trolley and didn't return it. Shame. So now I'm doing multiple trips in the elevator to get all these packages up. At least they're not very heavy. Good day to be working with yarn. Okay, let's see what's inside here. Oh my god, these are massive. So Walnut Gang is coming out with a new yarn called the One Wool, and I've already tried it out and it's great. It's like my favorite yarn that they make is Alpacino Merino, and it has a great just like thickness to it, I think, and that is kind of the same thickness here, but it's 100% wool, which I think is a great option because their other like 100% wool thing is quite thick. So if you like a thinner look, we've got these, and they sent a bunch of skeins to give out at Material Girls Club. Of course, I asked for the 2 like pinky red shades because I think it'll look very cute with our little setup. We've got a bag of powder pink and a bag of burgundy red. I think those are very cute. I'm excited to see what people think of those because it's always fun to be able to give out little goodies at Material Girls Club. And some more goodies here. So the Wool Gang team very kindly offered to send me some stuff to try out, again, the one wool and make something for myself. So I asked for this blue color, powder blue. And my goal is a half zip cable sweater. I'm very happy with this. The color turned out even like brighter and cuter than I expected. So I think this is gonna be very cute, and I'm really leaning into blues this autumn, which is surprising to us all. Some skeins of that in here. I'm excited to try that out. I've done cables before and I actually really liked them. I like the process of like, yeah, just moving everything around, but it'll be my first time like designing something from scratch with cables. So excited to challenge myself, and I think this will be a good yarn for that. My last package is just full of pink envelopes because it's almost time to send out a new issue. By almost, I mean like in a month and a half, but I just like to have these ready to go. Here I've been collecting a little color scheme and scraps of this is Peruvian Highland wool by Filcolana that I really like using, and I'm going to use this for the next Material Girls knitting pattern. It's going to be a little bonnet, and I was just kind of like looking through all the yarn that I have, and I think that I'm going to hold a strand of this with a strand of this, which is Filcolana Arwetta, I think. It's a bit thinner, and so I think I can do some fun like color variation on that. So this is kind of like waiting, letting the juices flow, getting inspired to make that happen. While I'm here, I'm also hoping that I find some hair clips, because I've been seeing people wear just silver hair clips like all in a line, and I think it is such a cute look. And I've been looking everywhere since, you know, Grace and I've been shopping this week, because I was like, I feel like at a Boots, or I mean literally anywhere, there should just be like plain silver hair clips. I looked like Sainsbury's, couldn't find anything anywhere. And then I was like, wait, I use silver hair clips all the time at Material Girls Club because we've done crafts where we like decorate them. So I think this is the bin they would be in. Yeah, so they're just plain, and in the past we've like hung beads and stuff off of these little holes, but I think I'll take a few home. And there's my look. Is finished. Check this out. Well, not totally finished, but I'll explain. So basically I used all of the pink yarn that I had left, and I decided like it's long enough that I don't want to introduce new colors now that I've run out of it. It's probably a little shorter than I would have like chosen to make it, but we're working with what we've got here. It does a full wraparound, and obviously in the pattern like it's the same thing over and over. If you want to make it longer, you can make it longer, and I'll like talk about that. I haven't finished the edges off because I want to do that on camera, because I make tutorials, video tutorials for all of the Material Girls patterns, and I'm not going to make like a whole scarf on camera. I'm just going to show how to do the stitch, because then it's like the same thing over and over. But I do want to show the technique that I'm still hoping will work with these sides here, which is braiding the loose ends up the sides and then using a border to cover it. So I'm gonna do like all of that on camera, finishing it off. But pretty cute. I love the little sparkle in it. I'm really glad that I had enough yarn that I didn't have to like fully add new colors to it, because I do think this is more of the look that I was going for. When I get to the studio, I'll have some fun figuring out like what border I want to do. I'm thinking if I have enough of another shade of pink, that would be cute. But I'm also thinking maybe black to kind of anchor it, especially because I have a black coat that I wear most of the time during the winter. And so I think that it would just kind of like, yeah, match the coat, blend that in, and like the colors would stand out. So we'll see. But cluster stitch scarf finally done, and just a few more steps to complete to like turn it into a pattern and a whole tutorial. This is not a current project, but I wanted to show this cute book that I got because it's relevant to fiber art. So Grace and I, like I said, have been going to like different department stores. We were in John Lewis earlier this week. I love the haberdashery there because they have like yarn and fabric, and also just cute little like kits of things and little craft books. And I found this 100 Essential Embroidery Stitches and picked it up because I think this will be a great resource for workshops, because sometimes I do embroidery workshops and people get kind of like different levels of curiosity. There are some people who like just learning a basic stitch and then like really going along with that, and then there are some people who are like, I want to learn all these different textures. So I feel like something like this would be great to be able to like have out and have people be able to like peruse as they wish. So on each page shows a picture of the embroidery stitch and then step by step like how to make it. This will be great for me too, because honestly like I'm a pretty basic embroiderer. Like I'm good at the basics, and so I feel like I can teach the basics, but I don't certainly know like 100 different stitches. So that'll be interesting to explore, and a cute little find to pick up. What am I going to make next? I have a few ideas and a few things kind of coming up. So obviously I need to make the knitting pattern for the next issue of Material Girls and the sewing pattern, but I have a plan for that and I think you'll see that in the next vlog. The next Material Girls knitting pattern is going to be a little like half bonnet. I love those bonnets that are almost like headbands, like they come like this, like a thick headband, and then just cover the ears and tie down here instead of being like a hole around the head thing. So I'm gonna make one of those using like some yarn color variation stuff and perhaps an I-cord edge. I showed the blue yarn that I just got, and I want to make that into a cable knit half zip because I found this beautiful one from Ghani that I think is so cute. I'm not even sure if it's like for sale anymore. I didn't look that far into it. I just saw it on Pinterest and thought it was cute. And I've been wanting to design a cable knit myself. So I think I'm gonna kind of like take this as inspiration, but do different cables because I don't love how this one has like just the shape of the cables is a little bit more like nature-y. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I love a classic kind of braided cable. So this is my like inspo and I'm gonna try to design something similar but in a hand knit version. Also for months now I've had the yarn for the Prima pullover by Starcross Knits and I even started it but I didn't check my gauge, and I think in a few videos I show like how it was shaping up and it was not looking good. So I need to like take some of my own advice for once and like check the gauge. It's not that hard, and perhaps go down needle size because it was looking like there was just way more holes in the fabric. It was way looser than I wanted it to be, but I have the yarn for it. I think that's such a pretty piece. I think that's gonna be great for autumn. I actually wanted to make it last autumn, I think, to be able to wear it, but this autumn might be my time to shine. I'm really excited that it's starting to get a little bit colder outside, sweater weather, fun knitting projects. I feel like I can like get in the mood for those now. For a while I was feeling a bit stumped of like, what do you make when you're like sweating in your apartment? We've got a rare fiction read from me. So this is Close Knit by Jenny Colgan, and it's a novel, which I don't read very much of, but I got my hands on this one because the publisher sent it to me saying it's about a knitting group in Northern Scotland, so we think you might be interested. And I said, sure, I'll give it a read, and it turned out pretty nice for this kind of like vacation time that Grace and I've been doing because it was just kind of like an easy, fun read to have and not be like thinking about existential things, which I feel like my books usually are. I'm gonna give it like 3 stars, and I'll preface that by saying like, first of all, I don't read a lot of novels, so I'm probably not the best one to even like gauge what a good like fiction story is like. It was like good writing, like I read the whole thing. I wouldn't have read it if I hadn't found it like entertaining. What I would say is like it felt a bit ridiculous. Like the plot was funny, like the writing was fine, but the plot was like, what is going on here? So basically I feel like I went into it with a bit of a different idea of like what it was actually going to be. So I was told, you know, knitting group in rural Scotland, and the knitting group is very much like background characters. So basically like the main character Gertie has a knitting group and that's her hobby, and so like things come up where she's like with her knitting group or knitting something, so like it gets mentioned, but like the plot does not surround knitting at all. I was actually a bit disappointed because at one point they tease in the book and say there's one yarn shop in this like small Scottish town, and apparently there's a rival knitting group that works there, and the like knitting group that Gertie's a part of doesn't like to go there because that knitting shop like won't sell their stuff or whatever. And I was like, that is a novel I would like to read. Rival knitting groups in rural Scotland fight over turf at the one yarn store. Like that is what I would have liked to read, but that is not what this book was. Honestly, the main way that knitting is like mentioned and central to the story is that Gertie, who's 30 years old by the way, and one of the things that was kind of weird in the book was like she's written like a teenager who has all these crushes and like doesn't know what to do with them. And I feel like if that was like the point of the book was that she's kind of like this infantilized adult, that could be interesting, but that ends up like not being the point of the book. She just kind of is this 30-year-old who doesn't have her shit together. Anyway, so she has these big crushes and she knits things for the men that she has crushes on, and she's done this since she was like young, and then she does it for like her boss at her current company in the book. She like knits these elaborate things. Gertie, it's giving stalker. Like you don't just like hand knit things for people who have talked to you twice. So that's what I mean. Like sometimes the plot just felt like there were these like things out of left field, and I couldn't quite tell if I was supposed to be like jarred by them or if it was supposed to be like, we're along for the ride for this fun story, or if it was supposed to be like ridiculous. Like just a few moments there, especially near the end, where I was like, why is this the thing that's like happening right now? So don't judge a book by its cover, but like this makes it look like it's about a knitting shop, and it's not about a knitting shop. It's about a girl who gets a job at an airline company. That's what I'll say about that, and I feel like my review is very much tainted by like what I thought the book was going to be. It's a cute little read if you happen upon it and you want a novel that like vaguely has knitting in it and is about like a cute little Scottish town. I also don't don't really know like what do people say in fiction book reviews. Like these are just kind of my thoughts. I finished it last night and I was telling Grace about like kind of the action-packed ending that happened. So like what I will say again is like it was entertaining. Like I wanted to relay to Grace what was going on in the book, but because there were these like ridiculous plot points that I couldn't tell if it was meant to be ridiculous or not. That's that. Next vlog I will be back with probably another nonfiction book pick, back to our normal politics, craft, all that stuff. Knit lit book pick will be out as well, so I'll probably be getting into that, chatting about that, other things that I'm making and doing. So make sure to subscribe to see the next vlog, and thanks for watching this one.